Welcome to High Quality Trades. This is the channel where I provide top-notch technical analysis of the stock market. We'll cover simple support and resistance levels, trend line breaks, and pattern formations. Plus, I'll share price targets to help you understand where the stock market is headed in the coming days. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you. Okay, in today's video, we'll be going over the SPY, the triple Qs, the VIX, and I'll be giving some updates on some stocks that we've been giving out on this channel that have been making moves. We'll be going over Berkshire, Snowflake, AMD, MELI, Adobe, Nvidia, and Google. Alright guys, so just a quick update today. We have the SPY on the 4-hour time frame. Today, the SPY closed at 559.61. It reached a high of 559.61 and a low of 553.86. We were positive 0.96% on the day. Alright guys, so it does look like we're heading towards the halfway point of this broadening wedge pattern. If we do get a full completion of this pattern, it does signal price to push upwards of the 575, 576 level in the coming days. Right now, we're about halfway there. We have reached our resistance level here at 559.77. Price needs to get above this level to continue pushing higher. If we do manage to break above this level, we have a gap fill up here on the 4-hour time frame that doesn't fill until 564.28. But if we manage to fill this gap and push higher, then I don't see any reason that we won't be getting a full pattern completion of this falling broadening wedge. Now, if price doesn't manage to get above this level tomorrow, then we have support down here at 556.80 and 554.79. If we go into the 15-minute time frame, we're above our 200-period moving average, this blue line here, and we've continued pushing higher for the past few days. Now, I would say we've gotten a little bit extended from this moving average, so if we do fall just to close the gap a little bit, that wouldn't be too out of the question, and that also wouldn't be very bearish. I do believe we are in positive gamma territory, so that will be buy the dip, sell the rip. So no reason to be bearish at this moment. Alright guys, that is the SPY. Now let's go over the triple Qs. Back out onto the 4-hour time frame. The triple Qs is nearing its pattern completion of this falling broadening wedge. Now if we do get a full pattern completion, it does signal that price is going to hit the 47.55 level in the coming days. Right now we've broken through a resistance level here of 475.60, and as price is reaching towards the 484.49 level. As long as we manage to get above the 484 level, then we should be pushing higher, probably up to this gap fill area here on the 4-hour time frame that does fill somewhere in the 495.31 range. If we drop down into the 15-minute, we're above that 200-period moving average, which is bullish for price to continue its upwards momentum. As long as we remain above this 200-period moving average, there's no reason to be bearish in the market. Just like SPY, we have gotten a little far extended from it, so a pullback or some consolidation wouldn't be out of the question. But ultimately, I believe we're in buy the dip, sell the rip territory. Alright guys, that is it for the triple Qs. Let's go over the VIX. Now the VIX is below its 200-period moving average on the 15-minute and is continuing to push lower. We did print a low of 1446 today, which is below our resistance level here at 1537. It does look like we're reaching down towards the 1396 level in the coming days. If the VIX does decide to pop off for any unknown reason, we first need to break above resistance here at 1537. If we get above this level, we won't have any resistance until 1933. And that would be bearish if the VIX starts to pop off. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Alright guys, that's it for the VIX. Now let's go over Berkshire Hathaway. Alright, Berkshire Hathaway is hitting its second price target with today's price action. I did mention a few days ago when we were getting a break of this trend line that our first price target was up here at 443.95, and then we were reaching towards the 449.91 level. It does look like today we peeked our head through it, but we haven't managed to close above it yet. So if we go out onto the daily time frame, we do have this giant bull flag pattern that Berkshire Hathaway is in the process of completing. It does look like we're nearing the halfway point of this pattern completion. Ultimately, price needs to get above this 450 level to continue pushing higher in the market. All right, that's it for Berkshire Hathaway. Let's go over Snowflake stock. So, Snowflake on the 4-hour time frame has broken this descending trend line that we have been talking about for quite some time. We broke through it the middle of last week. We retested it as support, and now we've continued pushing higher. We broke through resistance here at 128.82, and we've gone to our first price target here at 132.56. Price needs to get above this level to continue pushing higher. If price manages to get above this next resistance level at 132.56, then we should be pushing higher up to our next resistance level at these highs here, 134.30. This stock has been in a downtrend for quite some time, so it is nice that we're finally getting some bullish momentum in the market. If we do go out onto the daily time frame, it does look like our MACD is pushing towards the zero line, and we're about to break through it in the coming days. We do have earnings coming up on Wednesday, so watch for that. But ultimately, if we cross through that zero line, that is bullish for price to continue pushing higher in the market. We do need to break this high to break the downtrend. If we're able to break this high and then make a new higher low, that will be bullish for Snowflake stock to try to start a new uptrend. Alright guys, that is it for Snowflake. Let's go over AMD. AMD has finally gotten a full pattern completion of this falling broadening wedge. We have gotten above our price target here at 153.35, and now we're meeting resistance at the 200 period moving average. Price needs to stay above this level to continue pushing higher in the market. Looks like our next resistance level is up here at 163.78, so look out for that. Okay, that's it for AMD. Let's go over MELI stock. Now MELI, out on the weekly time frame, has broken this long-term descending trend line. I was talking about it here on this week, July 29th. If we go on to the 4-hour time frame, we did have a bullish pennant on the charts that had broken out. And this was signaling for price, if it got a full pattern completion, was to reach upwards of this $2014 range. With today's price action, we're getting a full pattern completion of this pennant. Now the pennant was just the first pattern that we noticed. This is also a bull flag pattern. So if we do get a full pattern completion of the flag pole, that was putting price reaching upwards of 2,190. So since we've gotten above our resistance here at 2014, price, as long as price stays above this level, we should be pushing up towards that 2,190 level. This stock had a bullish break on the weekly time frame that is signaling for price to continue pushing higher in the coming weeks. Now that we're breaking all-time highs, it is bullish for price as long as we can stay above the previous all-time highs here. But if we do fall back below it, we will first have support here at 1969. Alrighty, so that is MELI stock. Now, ADBE I gave out in yesterday's video. On Friday, ADBE managed to break out of this falling broadening wedge. Now, price has came down and tested the upper descending trend line as support, and we've continued pushing higher. We've broken through our first resistance level here at 562.02, and now it looks like we're reaching towards the 570 level in the coming days. If we drop down into the 15-minute, price is above our 200 period moving average and is continuing its upwards trajectory. As long as price stays above this 200 period on the 15-minute, it is bullish for price to continue pushing higher. If we go out onto the daily time frame, our MACD is over the zero line and creating green bars on the histogram, which is bullish for price momentum to continue on this stock. Ultimately, I'm looking for price to get up to this 580 level in the coming days. Alright guys, that's it for Adobe. Let's go over NVIDIA. Now it does look like we're nearing a full pattern completion of this falling broadening wedge on NVIDIA. If we just take the opening of this broadening wedge and move it over, it does look like price is reaching towards the 133.13 level in the coming days. We first need to get above resistance here at 131.68 to ultimately get a full pattern completion. If price does fall at all, we do have support here at 125. Let's look at our 15-minute 200 period. Yeah, as long as we remain above this 200 period on the 15-minute, that is bullish for price to continue pushing higher. It does look like we're quite extended from it, so coming back for a retest or just closing the gap a little bit wouldn't be out of the question. Alrighty, that's it for NVIDIA. Let's go over Google, our last stock. So with today's price action, just like I was talking about in yesterday's video, we did break out of this falling broadening wedge. And we filled our gap fill here at 167.93. So this is bullish for price to continue pushing higher. We do have another gap fill on the 4-hour time frame here at... Actually, if we go out onto the daily time frame, there are a few gaps that need to be filled. But on the 4-hour here, we have one at 171.84. Let's look at our daily time frame. Bring up our MACD. So we've gotten our second green bar to produce on the histogram. Now we've gotten a bullish cross of the signal line, and we're continue pushing higher. Yeah, we have that gap fill at 171.94 that needs to be filled, and ultimately we're looking for price to get upwards of the 178.42 level if we do get a full pattern completion of this broadening wedge. If we were to just take the opening and move it over to the breakout area, that's signaling the 178.42 level in the coming days. Alrighty guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching high quality trades. I wish you the best in your trading, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.